All right, Operation Plague Star has returned, guys. So head out to Cetus and come talk to this guy, Kanzu. He's going to be offering some bounties, a different one than normal you'll find. It's called Plague Star. Select that and head out to the door.
The infestation. I was beginning.
All right, there will be two of us doing it today. We decided on a Nova. We went with a slow Nova and a Chroma. For all of the mission, we won't be both going down into the cave as it's going to first ask us to do.
Kill the boil.
He wants us to go out here and kill the boil and get a toxin mixer. So one of us is going to go retrieve the mixer while the other one waits outside. So once we load in, that's the main reason for this, because usually we don't spawn in at the same time, no matter if it's 2, 3, or 4 of us on a team. So the first person always goes down there, and that's the main reasoning for this. I don't like being that person that has to be the one to go down there, so I like being spawned in second, third, and even fourth, because I find it hard to get up a couple of different points. They are steep, it's dark, and it seems to twist me around when I do it. So I'm pretty specific on, I've been down the cave before, and I don't like it. I will do it if I have to, but all my team members know I'm just going to add another minute or two to the clock, and someone's going to have to come find me. So,
Vahek has thrax toxin stored deep underground.
oh,
We'll use that. One ill to cure another, eh? Of course, maggots seek to burrow away from my caves. Maggots, lest you be crushed.
oh, he knows what we're up to now. I would hope somebody alerted him, because I am ready for a fight.
And a face like a rejected skin graft. Kanzu would like you to
Waiting
make
for
his
my
life
next waypoint to come up,
Well,
and
more
I'm
misery.
ready to go.
Toxin secure. Be prepared. Vahek knows what we're up to
One
now.
thing I did notice when we did make a couple runs out here was in the daytime there are thumpers as well as all the other things that are going to spawn. So we did have a lot of thumpers come around, and at night you will have the vom list and the Eidolon does spawn. So letting you know that. We're going to go here, and we're opening up this case. As it says, go ahead and start the mixer, and this is where you add all of the things that we've been asking you to get. One was from your dojo, and one was from the market. Add these relaxes, and also the infested one.
I see your clan created the
There's
infested
blue
catalyst.
and red.
This
One
is
of
your
them
chance.
increases your
Add it to the mixer
standing,
now.
and one of them is to spawn how many of the hemocytes. So if you do the infested one, which is the red one, that's going to spawn 4 of the hemocytes, and you are going to get 4 of those things that you need to be able to make your trophy in your dojo. Okay, and the blue ones, those are to make the difficulty level go up, and you are going to gain an extra 1,000 standing for this run. So it certainly is well worth it.
Rats of Cetus will flee in panic. And when they do, we'll hunt them for sport.
Okay, well, you are going to hear him come in and out, and we'll talk a lot of junk to us. That's all I can say. Don't let it bother you. Don't let the other things deter you. You will have plenty of enemies for you to shoot at in the air. And one of the great graphics that I love is when you do blow them up in the air. I love it when all the Grenier come flying by. I think I cracked up when I just looked one direction, and for no reason, I look up and there goes a body come flying by me. I mean, what made me laugh about it, I don't know, but it was fun. So I appreciate some of the graphics that they've done with these, and I like it. I love a good explosion, and I love a lot of fire, a lot of firepower. And the sparkles and such, everything that they have been working on with the game, you can see how hard they've been working, as obviously You don't see that many games have this much sparkle and finesse and splendor. I just saw one of the most incredible explosions. You know, it's like how many screenshots and how many videos do you post of this stuff? Nobody can ever
The
capture.
mixer needs more time.
So right
Keep the
now,
Grenier at bay.
I was just taking up a little time here while we have been defending. Uh, the slow nova is helping and is gathering most of the people. The chroma still is not needed yet, but is still around in case there's an eidolon. Um, the slow nova also helps greatly with the thumper, which again are in the daytime. They're not spawning at night, so we don't have to worry about them. I have a great amp, so I'm not concerned about the Vomulas, as I can just jump back in, but I'm a chroma, I mean, for real, I'm a chroma, above all. So I have no concerns. We are almost done here, and then we are going to take the canister onto the next spot. I heard it done, I heard a beep, and now it can be retrieved.
Ayo! My eyebrows are singeing just looking at that stuff. Go shove it into the boil.
A Grenier drone will serve as an optimal delivery system. I've marked one.
Okay, what we are now doing is we are still taking that toxin mixer and we've mixed it all up and it's going to be good and
Drone
plenty
located.
strong.
Hack in. The Thrax toxin. I'll steer it toward the boil.
So, it's now part of a mission that we are going to transport this very unstable mixture, and we're going to use a drone to be able to get it there. We're going to have all kinds of enemies, both on foot, on air, being transported in, and our target, as always, is a white mark on there every time we are doing the drone out here on Cetus. It's always the same. He is yellow, which looks like a little shield symbol, and our goal is the white. The white spot will be where the boil is at, and we will be combating the big guys. Until then, we're trying to get him there safely and take out all our enemies along the way. We get closer and closer. The one thing I do remember about the boil, and I know some of the times it was hard to do it, you get blown onto the boil, and if you go in there, you die. I mean, it's kind of simple. It's toxic. You die. But it's kind of funny. You know, try to retrieve somebody up there or to spawn back in and you're on there. You know, how do you ask your people, come back up here, get me again? You know, so keep that in mind when you are getting around and too close to the boil. It's not necessary to get on it or on top of it. You can fly into it and see, you know, if you want, if you take any damage. I was trying to do it for a buff one time, and I stayed on there too long, like right now. Alright, now I gotta have somebody come revive me, and how embarrassing, right? I'm a chroma. That shouldn't be happening. So let's get back to business. We're out here to kill. As we've seen, we have been directed to a yellow spot that has all these enemies that are infested. We have been killing them until...
Knock it on the head, eh?
Ah, yes. There I see his little head. He has emerged. At the 25, 50, 75, and 100 mark, we will have 4 hemocides spawn because we did put 4 in there. Here is where I would like to add my chroma buff and add this just to make this a little bit faster for everybody. You do not need a chroma. You do not have to have a nova, but we are trying to show you a really fast way to be able to do this. And that can be appreciated because who can't appreciate a slow nova and a chroma? We can watch the power grow and enjoy it. It's always a good fight. Don't forget to jump up and down. A lot of times go ahead and mark it for your people where you get the little hemocyte thing to build your thing in the dojo. Otherwise, you'll feel like you've lost out at least a piece of this.
You got the reaction. Big as a house and half as smart. Knock it on the head, eh?
Alright, as promised, at the 50 mark, he will reemerge. So we go ahead and fight him the same way again. We do have a slow nova. I should remain with my buff. Let's just make it fast. Wow, talk about getting smacked. Ouch. He does pack a punch. I gotta tell you that much. And go ahead, gather our stuff. We have lots of enemies on the ground to fight. And here's our 75. He appears one time again.
Glistening magnificence, but you just made it angry.
If he has not looked familiar by now, he is Lephantis. I am not going to be quoted on where he came from or what he is considered in the codex and such, and what he is. What I am saying is he is a Lephantis, and so it should be easier for some of the players who have been here a while to be able to get all the shots that are needed. So if you do find it hard, a slow nova does help so that you can go ahead and focus and use whichever weapon you wish to be able to on him. It was recommended as radiation, so we tried radiation a couple of times. We found different weapons. Let me grab my thing. We found a lot of things to be about equal. It is important to be able to cover your ground. That's the number one. You have to be able to kill and to be able to hold your own. That's the standard we found. But we do offer some builds in some of our videos to show what we're doing and why we're doing it this way. We do explain everything, and sometimes it may seem a little choppy. It's because it's getting a little hectic in here. So let me make sure I have my things on. Sometimes, again, you have an Eidolon to deal with, or I've been having a lot of the thumpers running on board, so we have been, it's been slowing some of our progress getting to the end, but it doesn't really take your time off. So, and to do these, there are ways of getting your standing. You don't have to put in all of these hemocytes. You don't have to come and, as you would say, farm this guy to get all the little things to build your dojo scope. You don't. And you can get standing, but you are missing out on some opportunities to get some hunter mods, a cool trophy, and some extra standing. So it is highly recommended to go ahead and do it. And if you get a thumper, guess what? You got some more resources. I don't count that as any time lost. I just count that as another extra. So right now we're going to grab our stuff and head on out. And that is it to the Plague Star event. Oh, excuse me, let me call that Operation Plague Star, because it was showing me as an event in my head. I was calling it that, but it's actually an operation. So let me head in there. And it's always tiresome when one person can get there faster than the other. Sometimes I use my K drive, sometimes I use one of my frames just to run. It just depends on what I feel like doing, because sometimes I just want to get a couple more smacks in before I leave. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please like and or subscribe. You'll see me on daily. So there's many times a day you can hit me up. Always hit me up with a message in squad so that I can actually make the time and give you all the advice or help that I can. So until then, I appreciate it. This is Psycho DG. I would like to say out, and thanks guys.